Welcome, our listeners. This is our the second podcast, and hopefully, you are waiting for the second podcast. As you know, in the first podcast, we shared about the career clarities, then the psychologically readiness to explore the career qualities, and definitely you enjoy that sessions also. But today, we are coming with the new topic. Literally, it is the one step the further, and today's the topic is as a person is existing, is happy with his career, but he want to something differently. He want to something achievement. Yes, definitely. We are talking about the strategic positioning. We are talking about the networking. And definitely, in order to address this one, we need the person already has the corporate experience in this fields also. And today our channels is very happy to have our the perfect guest on this platforms. My colleagues, Mandarji, he has worked more than 25 years in corporate pharma company like Novartis, Pfizer's, Amgen's, and today he's working since last 20-25 years as the life and the leadership coach. We are eager to hear about him regarding how what is the meaning of the personal branding, how the strategic positioning is important, networking is important. As you are aware about, they are very working hard in order to get the job, but somewhat extent they doesn't get the responses or existing purposes. They're working hard, but they doesn't get the promotions also. What are the reason behind, and what are the solution behind? I, as like me, even you are eager to listen from Mandarji how we're going to handle this situation. Mandarji, most welcome to our platform.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Pravin. And I'm super excited to be here. And this topic is close to my heart because I have seen so many talented professionals struggle, not because they lack skills, but because they haven't positioned themselves correctly in the job market. And today, we are going to change that.
Oh, that's very good. Before starting, sir, though it is a formal podcast also, I just introduced my listeners about the your last 25 years experience. But our listeners may be eager to know about as your experience in your pharma company means in which positions you work. In that sense, I want to eager to know from you also.
Yeah, thanks for that. So it has been more than 2 decades. Yeah, I had to say it had been actually. Uh, I was working with world's top companies like Novartis, Pfizer, and my recent assignment was absolutely with Novartis. And before that, I worked with Pfizer as well as one of the great Indian company, Torin Pharmaceuticals. It's more than 20 years. And last year, I actually decided to, move into something I am passionate about, and that is about career and leadership coaching. So I am also International Coaching Federation credential coach, also life mastery coach. So this is what I have been doing since last 2 years, helping professionals to really grow, not only in their profession but beyond that. So especially when it comes to the transformational aspects of the life, be it personal life or professional life. So my emphasis is more on that. So career coaching as well as leadership coaching.
Yeah, really, it's incredible, and I feel that today's the podcast topic, and you are the right and perfect guest for me also. As our topic is the strategic positioning, also this is very technical words. As a career coach, a leadership coach for the pharma industry, how you define what is the meaning of the strategic position? My listeners is really want to eager what you understand from the strategic position.
Great questions, great start actually. And this is the topic of our discussion today. So, strategic positioning is the way you present yourself in the professional world so that when right opportunities come to you, instead of you chasing them, opportunity comes to you. And it is about clarifying your unique value, like knowing what makes you stand out, what makes you different than the professionals around you, having that clear visibility, making sure that right people know about you. You have really great networking around you. People know about your strengths, skills, and how you position into your network. So clarifying your visibility, creating that visibility, and most importantly, it is about building relationships, connecting with the decision makers uh, before you need them. It is just like preparing for the famine before when you are in a flourishing situation. It is so networking or building relationship. It is not about really approaching somebody when you need a job. It is not about that. It is really building meaningful relationships. Somehow, somewhere, those would be obviously going to
Really,
reap you the
something.
benefits.
Yeah, yeah, Mandaji. It is really that make a sense. You have a totally different definitions. You mentions about the values also. You mentions about the visions also. That is a clear visions also. But as you are aware about and you came across with the number of the professional, they work very hard and they want company should to notice them. But somehow to extent their expectations is not fulfilled in that way. Company never notice them for their promotion or other values also. My questions is very direct to you. Why means their work, why this their position, this is a way the strategy they use, company should notice them, doesn't work for their achievements also, their success also, Mandaji.
Yes, another great question. And see, because corporate world doesn't work like school or college, where when you perform, when you study hard, you get good mark and you get noticed. You become a living kid or student of the your teacher. So because so there is a difference in which obviously we will come to that. In the corporate world, being skilled is just a foundation, but growth comes from how you position yourself within the organization and outside. That is nothing but within the market, and how you network yourself. So basic difference between college student and professional life is like in college it is mostly one to one, you and your teacher. But in professional life, especially in corporate life, it is one to many. You have to really create that image, not only in front of your manager, but around yourself, like maybe your colleagues, your team, and then expanded network within the organization as well as outside the organization. Like thinking about it, like it's like having, say for example, two people with the same skills and experience applying for the same job. And say for example, one has a strong LinkedIn presence. He or she has got good industry connections, and absolutely the person has created a personal brand. The other just has standard resume. And who do you think will get noticed first?
Yeah, yeah. This is a really, miss your comparison is really, and I feel it is not my opinion, but each and every audience and our listeners will going to choose the person who has the long, strong, not long, but the strong and compatible LinkedIn profile. I feel he will be the get notice from the corporate world also. I feel it.
No, exactly, and that's why why networking and positionings are the secret weapons of high achievers. So there is no so a secret, or maybe you can say open strange secret weapons. It is well known that if you are really visible, if you create a brand, you are going to get noticed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just this your conversation. appreciate one thing. You use the analogy of the not an analogy, but you compare the college and school life with the corporate world, and this is a really amazing. And maybe our listeners, first time they get the difference between the corporate cultures and the school and college culture. That is amazing. I appreciate these things also. But you just mentioned about the networking. Is this is again like a strategic position you define it. The second part you want to just mention about the networking. This is very buzzword. Have a strong network. Networking we hear all here and there also, but most of the professional they exactly doesn't know how to implement their own networking. I am eager to know from your end as a career coach what you believe or what you expect in the networking. Yes, Mandaji.
Yeah, so once again, thanks. So, I would really love to share with you a little secret about jobs and how they get onto market. So, almost 80 to 85% jobs are filled through networking. Surprising secret, and not through job portals. It's around 20% of the jobs are published on job portals, and mostly they are entry level jobs. So if you are applying online, you are actually competing with hundreds of others. But if you have a strong network, job comes to you well before that is posted. And that too, in case of senior positions, organizations generally don't prefer to post those jobs immediately on job portals. They would always prefer to get it filled through their internal networking, through referrals. So, and that is the reason, even though it looks like a buzzword, it is very, very, very important if you really want to grow in your career. You cannot replace networking. It's not a buzzword. It is the word actually. That is essential thing one must have in order to grow in their professional career.
Yes, that
Yes.
is a really good studies. But you just mentions the one thing, just answering my questions. For the sake of me, why corporate world not publishing their job, their own portal? Because their own portal is for the same purpose. This is a simple questions from as a career I want to ask. Why corporate world that does not disclose their job, basic job on the own portal? I want to clarify on it from your end.
Yeah. So once again, nice question. So there are a lot of different aspects. See, one of the most cumbersome activity is recruiting. Even for a one position, if you go actually now and check it either on LinkedIn or any other job portals like Naukri or Monster, you take anything. In case there is a position open, even as for a single position, there would be thousands of applications. And you just imagine, right? It would be humanly impossible for any recruiting person or staffing partner to really actually go through all the resumes. Nowadays they are definitely using ATS system, but then another challenge with ATS is sometime a lot of good resumes get screened out and they lose good candidates because of ATS. So ATS has got its own flaws. So that even though they are trying to bring a lot of automation, it doesn't help. They might lose good candidates. If they post it on portals, there will be too many applications. People just randomly apply, and it really makes whole process complex. And you're not sure about, even though you get a good candidates based on your 1 hour, 2 hour interviews and couple of rounds, but you don't have a real surety about how the person would be when he really comes into the system. So when they go through networking, there would be always some candidates would be always coming through reference, and so their job becomes quite easy. They know like this person does not only possess the skills, but as a professional, he would be really gelling with our culture, our values. So this is the most important reason, and there are some other reasons also, like some of the senior positions they really don't want to apply, considering they don't want to really share this with their competitors. So that's why they don't come on job portals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the really professional things you have to share. May know about you use the one technical term ATS. What is meaning of ATS and how it works?
Yeah, so it is automated tracking system where based on the job profile and job description, the system would actually screen out certain resumes which doesn't really match with what is expected and what is required, so that they only get those resumes which has got those particular skills about that position that organization or company is looking for.
Okay. Is ATS work on artificial intelligence? That is one of the reason it has some limitations, according to you.
Yeah, now people have started even connecting or inbuilding those artificial intelligence things, but this is not a new. It has been there into the practice since last many years. But definitely, with the advent of this artificial intelligence, obviously people are now integrating AI with ATS and making their system even more smooth. Yeah, seamless.
See, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. One thing. Mandar, just we going to continue with the last answers. You mentioned about the networking is play very important part, but as a mid-level manager or maybe the senior level manager, I feel very awkward. Means as a career, I feel very awkward to ask for the my ex-colleagues to do the favors to search for me job. Don't you think this is kind of the favor, or how I what to say to my networking? I need your advice if such type of the mentality is in my mind. How I ask the favor for me in order to get promoted or in order to answer my response. What is your advice in that sense?
Mhm. And I completely understand it, but what I think myself, and it is generally applicable, networking isn't about asking favors. See, nobody is going to give you a position directly. You're just asking references. So it is about building your relationships, adding a value. It is about positioning yourself as a job seeker or problem solver. If you are really positioning yourself as problem solver, there is no question of really asking favor, because it is always win-win situation. You are helping organizations, you are getting job, at the same time you are also helping organizations to solve their problems which they are not able to solve until now, and that is why they have created this position.
Yes.
And maybe to the second part of your question, like how to build it without really without appearing oneself as really asking for favors. So there are a lot of different strategies, but maybe three simple step networking strategies. Like one of the easy thing to start with is reconnect with your past connections. Okay, it's quite easy because you already know the person who was working with you in past company or current company left and joined some other organization. So reach out to your ex colleagues, maybe college alumni where you actually studied together, or maybe your old mentor with whom you have lost the connection. Just get them connected, especially through professional networking sites like LinkedIn. So this is one of the best place actually where most of the professionals are there. They have certain good agendas there, growing professionally. And so just connect with him, send them requests in case you are not already in connection with them. If already connection with them, send a message, hey, how are you, how are you doing, what are you doing, how things are going on. It has been quite long we didn't connect, so I just wanted to check with you, and without any agenda, just go with that. So this is about reconnecting with your past connections, and then engaging on LinkedIn, especially as I was mentioning on these professional sites like LinkedIn. So we have got that habit of just scrolling like what we do on other social site, but just don't scroll. Comment on some industry posts or posts which you feel you're interested into, share your insights and participate in the discussions, because you cannot be just passive participants there, especially on LinkedIn. So you have to really engage on LinkedIn. And third step would be making a strategic new connections, finding say for example decision makers, hiring managers and industry leaders, and instead of saying I need a job, say like I admire your work in this field and would really love to learn from you. It is not just sending a request and asking, hey, do you have any job for me? No, that may look like you are really asking for favor. And please remember, unless and until you give some value, you don't get value. So it does not happen in that way. You have to reciprocate always, give first value, create a position, and then in that case you really don't have to ask somebody to even give you referrals for the particular position. People will always keep that in their mind, and then positions will come to you. So networking is all about relationships, and it is not just merely about transactions.
Yes, yes. Thanks a lot. Why I say thanks a lot, because you really build one insight for me also. Before giving the three recommendation how to build the networking, you just mentions to asking the favor is not the just like the kind of the bigger activity, but you mentions the win-win situation for the candidate also and for the company also. This is a really new insights for me, and thank you for update on me also. My next question is, as you mentioned, these are the three methods also, ex-colleagues or LinkedIn profiles also. Do such practical approach is really successful? I mean, say, according to you, this strategies really works? Is any success stories?
Yeah, absolutely. It works all the time, always. So I have been coaching so many people, and then it works for each and every of them. If they are really putting the consistent effort, they are really following the framework. It works definitely. And then I can share with you my recent example about my recent client who was applying for. So he was a kind of senior guy, and applying for top pharma companies for leadership position for months with no luck. So he was not really getting even calls for first round of interview because his resume is not at all getting shortlisted. So what we did is we actually work on his resume, optimize his LinkedIn profile, started getting engaged with industry leaders, made him active on LinkedIn, and within just 3 weeks a recruiter reached out with a job opportunity. No online applications, just pure networking. And surprisingly, it was his last application, and he really could succeed all the steps of this recruitment right from first round until getting the offer. So it was just one attempt, and then he got the job he was actually dreaming. So it works, definitely it works.
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing for him also, within the 3 months to get the recommendations or to get the job through the networking. And definitely, it's really amazing for him and as a career coach also. As you mentioned, the networking is to beyond just visibility is adding the values also. One more questions I would like to ask about the, as like the networking, just you mentioned, the really works about even one word, most corporate word they are using to how your own brandings also is branding. How this branding in a corporate word for the personal is different, or from the our professional, or we could say the commercial wording. What is the meaning of the branding, and why the professionals should care about this branding? This is my next questions to you, Bandar.
Yeah, sure. And thanks once again. Thank you very much for this question. So branding, it is applicable in personal life as well as professional life. In personal life, it is about how you showcase yourself when you are actually interacting with people, how you dress, how you look, how you talk. But in case of professional branding, obviously you cannot really showcase all these things because it is always virtual connections. So that is the reason you have to really present yourself differently professionally. What kind of posts you do on LinkedIn, what kind of posts you like, what kind of comments you do, okay, how do you engage with the people, and that is how you create your brand, and that is how people start perceiving you, how you are as a professionally, how you are actually presenting yourself. So, say for example, we have never seen Elon Musk, right? We have never interacted with him. But then, if I have to really ask you, what words come to your mind when we talk about Elon Musk?
Yes, really, really amazing. Just you mentioned we never meet the Elon Musk, but I recall his face, and you directly answers to your question. Elon Musk is equivalent with his Tesla, his equivalent with the SpaceX programs also, and definitely his innovative side is also.
Yeah, exactly. So that is his brand. So similarly, professionals should have a brand like a go to the expert for the pharmaceutical development, go to the expert for the regulatory affairs, the best data scientist in the pharma analytics, maybe a leadership mentor in research and development. And that's why a strong personal brand makes opportunities come to you, because then now you have created a personal brand and it's very personal, right? People know you as, expert in this area. So in case there is any opportunity, our organizations are really stuck because of lack of having that kind of capability, they would connect with you, and then opportunities knock on your door. You don't really go to that door.
Yeah, yeah, that's really, really again the good answers from you. Just you guide our listeners how to build the networking also. In the same sense, could you suggest how the career as a professional should brand themselves? This is my next questions as like networking also.
Yeah, so thanks once again. Obviously, there is overlapping between, okay, how you brand yourself and how you create that personal brand. So once again, going because so we interact with each other through the virtual world, and one of the best platform is absolutely LinkedIn. So it starts with optimizing. So it can be we can really that into 4 steps, or I would say 4 step branding formula. So first step starts with optimizing your LinkedIn. So your headline that should clearly say what do you do or what kind of value you. Say for example, help pharma professionals excel in regulatory affairs. Or for example, if I talk about myself, I help pharma professionals in excelling their career. So this is the value what I give. So optimizing your LinkedIn profile, and that too, your headline is really important. And then moving forward, next step would be really creating valuable content, sharing posts, insights, and case studies related to your field, so that you create that expertise, that impression that you are good person, you are expert. See, it is always about creating values and then expecting value in you, which would be seen by others. You cannot be just passively sitting there on the LinkedIn as other social networking site, but LinkedIn is absolutely different. People are there for a purpose, and you have to really showcase why are you there and what you want to give to others. And then another important aspect, or maybe next step to really building your brand is actively engaging in the discussions, commenting on the post from the industry leaders, sharing your insight, and trying to build that authority over the period of time. And fourth one is showcasing your achievements, sharing the projects you have recently completed successfully, your awards, accolades, success stories, and how you help others with your expertise. So if you really follow this 4 step formula, definitely and certainly you would be able to build your brand.
Yeah, yeah. This is you are really the practical approach and practical way to suggest our listeners also. And I'm really from bottom of my heart. And this is your insights is also the gold mine for me is also. Uh, as before the wrap up the session, I would like to what you will recommend it to our listeners, maybe or two three action they should take in order to consider their the personal branding, networking, or the strategic positions. Mandarji.
Yeah, sure. See, here are maybe 3 impact actions. First and most important, as I have been talking about this a lot since we started this conversation, is about optimizing your LinkedIn profile, especially LinkedIn headline, making it clear and value driven so people really know it is just the image of yours. Whenever I say, like, I help professionals to build their career. So people know that this person is career coach and the career coach who gives value. So this is the one of the important thing one can do. Second one is expanding the network strategically. Say for example, reaching out five industry leaders. So and starting with a simple genuine message like, hey, I really follow you, I admire your posts, and would really like to be in touch with you. That's it. And people really like a genuine intentions. Nobody is going to reject your requests. So do that. Keep on expanding your network strategically, and then engaging yourself on the this kind of professional platforms, especially on LinkedIn, like posting at least one insight every week. Share a lesson, industry trend, or maybe personal experience, what you actually learned maybe last week, last month about the project you are working on. So posting your insights and being there actively. So these three things, if somebody really follows consistently, it would definitely help people to, position themselves and create that brand.
Oh, oh, this is incredible. Just for the, I would like to ask one question. In the three suggestion you mentioned about the career coach would be help you. Just briefly, you tell me how the career coach will going to help in that in such situations. Means how they does the works. This is simple. I need the
Yeah,
answers from.
absolutely. No, thank you, thanks a lot. So there are a lot of ways career coaches help. So it is right from, even though I have shared a lot of steps and a lot of formulas how to really brand yourself, but many times people, even though they know these formulas, because this is not something new I am actually sharing. It is already existing. People, if you go and search it on Google, they would be also giving you similar steps. The one of the challenge professionals face is, and either they don't know how to do it practically. Second, there is no accountability. They, even though they know, they don't do that. So there is systemic way of doing this, and it is not only about following the steps. It is way beyond that. Resume building, obviously there would be a lot of free templates available, but what is that template which suits to your profile and the profile you are looking forward? What is that job you are aspiring? So this analysis needs to be done, and so it is very impersonal, in person or personal analysis, and it varies from person to person. So you must need somebody's expert guidance to really put the right efforts on building your resume, for example. And then networking, how do you network? Even though we know like how to network, but in reality this doesn't happen, so you need somebody's help. And then one of the important aspects about interviews, right? You resume is quite good, and then how do you prepare for the interviews? What are the pros and cons? What are do's and don'ts of, okay, how you present yourself? So there you need somebody's guidance. So throughout this journey you need somebody's guidance, and the career coach is the right person who would be always there with you, and he would be giving you unbiased suggestions. It would be non-judgmental, thoughts he would be sharing with you, so that you remain on track. In case there is something needs to be corrected, revisited, you would be able to do that. So that's why career coach is very much required.
Yeah, non-judgmental is really this word attract me. And Mandaji, almost last and half an hours I am with your discussion. This is a really incredible sessions, number of insights from you, and I believe for listeners also, this is podcast is definitely life changing, career changing, the strategy for them. Thank you very much, Mandaji, for your the incredible insights on our channels also. Uh, my dear
Yeah,
listeners,
welcome, and thanks for really inviting me, and thank you very much, Dr.
yeah,
Pravin.
yeah, most welcome. Always, you are most welcome, Mandaji. My dear, all the listeners, hopefully you enjoy this sessions. Totally different about the strategic positioning, the networking, and the personal binding. And this is the credible insight from the Mandaji. If you enjoy the sessions, please like, shares, and please leave a comment in our comment box also. It really motivates us. And in the next podcast, definitely we will come with the more new topics, and definitely this topic will again give the more and more insight. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.